Yeah, so now I'm going to talk about loving everyone equally, uh, as opposed to hating everyone equally. You know, Jews, Christians, Muslims, I don't know, transsexuals, heterosexuals, what army, what group, what team, what little box, everyone thinks the same in that little box. The red people, the green people, the blue people, the um, aliens, when then it, changes and then whatever, and then it's just like you never can keep ahead of it. Who cares? I don't know. They educate me. Um, so I'm like confused because, I'm trying to, you know, understand life, right? But yeah, loving everyone equally, right? I mean, essentially, like Martin Luther King said, judge a man by his character, not the color of his skin, you know. And factually, there are no black people, there are no white people, there are no red people, there are no people that if you put a lineup of people, you couldn't tell someone if they're Jewish, Christian, black, white. Um, Everyone might have a different answer, not knowing anything about someone except what they physically look like, right? So people could lie to you about, what gets them better favor at the moment, whatever they think you want to hear, right? It's all mind games using group think politics, group think education, educate people to think like that, not to think as a group or think as a team, as we the people under the Constitution, we the people, and not educating people like that, but educating them as individuals, minorities within individual groups, operating as oppressed people with under um, larger groups inside of the one group, which is we the people. It just creates division, right? Um, People think that it creates a paranoia of sorts. Well, the only place I've found, and the reason I think differently is because, and it's is because I joined the Navy at 18. And I was in the same barracks, sleeping, creating a team, with guys, young guys, all around the globe, culturally diverse, and we're all one team, right? Meaning, we're not thinking like, oh man, yeah, we can't work with him, or they're gonna work with us, No, man, because they're in that color skin, I mean, look, I'm not even white, and it got me confused. I'm half Mexican, right? I got diagnosed with sort of crazy shit after I got to the out of boot camp. Where they spend the most money in boot camp. They teach you all the fundamentals. They don't skip on funding boot camp, where they teach you the standards of the Navy as it should be. But then when you get to your unit, you might be in a unit that's being defunded or tested on, minimally manned, which was my case, and you won't even know. So everything that you learn at boot camp will be turned on its head, and you'll be struggling with this new, confusing, broken command who is underfunded and minimally manned to a level that is considered an experimental level, and also a test based on DoD records and congressional records. I didn't make it up, but I live with that confusion until I found these reports only in the last couple of years. So you're talking 20 or 30 years where I didn't even know the fuck I was stressed out for and hurting and pain. And I'm a white guy, right? Oh, where's my white privilege card, right? And all the guys on the ship, right? No doctor on the ship, just corpsmen, right? So they don't even fund doctors to be on these little guided missile frigates, right? When in their same country, our country has Doctors Without Borders. You know, we can't help but send doctors around the globe to help out kids and parents and families or people, just humans around the globe. You know, it's called humanitarian aid. Humanitarian things that we do, and we're proud of, right? But not proud enough to, smart enough, I guess, or intelligent enough to fund doctors on Navy ships that can monitor your occupational health, and document occupational injuries consistently or correctly. You won't get that luxury, or that human right won't be acknowledged. That, you know, although in the Geneva Conventions, you're supposed to offer, or not deny medical care, treatment, or humane treatment, right? Including medical care of your prisoners, right? And the Geneva Conventions. But, you know, again, it gets back to how you're treated as an 18-year-old in the military, you know? And you swore an oath to defend the Constitution, which I have behind me, right? So I'm confused. I got psychosis, I guess they say, right? I mean, I'm a little confused, right? Because I went through all this training, and then I come to a society who, you know, doesn't even know what I did in the military. When I go to the VA, they're confused. Then they fight me on my enlistment. They say, oh, you're a reservist. You had a reserve enlistment. You didn't do enough active duty days over 8 years. Well, good. Thank you for telling me, busting my ass, having me stressed out, and for with this screwed up enlistment that you don't even acknowledge when you're done with it. An honorable enlistment, honorable... an honorable discharge with it was worth nothing. I had to fight years just of denials of even housing, which I'm in Veteran Affairs housing now, but imagine you had to wait years. I was getting assaulted, sexually assaulted by a friend, a guy that I met while I was struggling for housing. A gay guy who happened to be a former Navy guy, an older Navy guy who you know, met at the gym, right? He was a Vietnam era Navy guy. He went into Vietnam era for a couple of years in the Navy because that's what it was, a draft period, right? And if you, so, you know, during Vietnam, and he got through that, and he had a small ship. I can't remember. He said it was a minesweeper, I guess. Teak deck. I mean, it had wood decks. It sounded like it was a rough ride. You know, I guess Navy disability or seaman disability goes back to, you know, as one of the first disability laws of the continental United States back in 1782, I believe it was. John Adams. You can look it up. There's a seaman disability law where they acknowledged it. Seaman, which I was a deck seaman in the Navy, go working my way up to boatswain's mate. Was actually the title of the disability law that John Adams and the Third Congress created. They took money, pay out of the seamen, like 10, I don't remember how many, a couple cents a paycheck or whatever. It created hospitals just to treat the seamen that were going to sea. Because it's a rough ride out there. It's rough. And you get beat up, and you need little support. But, you know, but again, my Navy Army transfer was even disregarded, although it was medically disqualified. I mean, the VA tried to kill me, leave me in the streets. Now I'm in court, and I'm confused. Yeah, they feel like I don't know what the fuck to believe anymore. You know, I can't say the right thing. No, 90% of the people in the United States have never been in the military. So they all think of this like generic, weird community like group think where I can't really understand it because I don't believe in it because I got taught to work as a team, regardless of differences of skin color, religion, and whatever you call politics. Politics to me are nothing. I mean, I care if I have a safe place to sleep, a good team to work with, and good food. And I know how to defend myself. And as a team, we defend ourselves. And those are 3 or 4 fundamental qualities that I think you would start any society with. That's why the military does have a good and long-lasting a tradition of being the backbone of any strong society, right? Because you learn fundamentals, be it the Romans, and others, the legions, Greece, Spartans, I'm sure there are plenty of other ones, right? But having a strong defense force or fighting force is it takes a discipline, right? And strength, and you gain, right? And self-confidence. And to feel like you can and actually can defend yourself against lions, tigers, or other people from other lands that come try to take you out. So it should be a fundamental part of every society. Except we don't do that here. We're like, oh, you can volunteer based on, some propaganda that also create to try to encourage you to join voluntarily. But so they make enlistment packages. They're always coming with new ones, just trying to incentivize going in the military, which to me, growing up in San Diego, was really just wanted to make my mom happy and also be a patriot and also hit it hard right out of high school, and didn't realize I joined a program they were already getting rid of. So essentially it's like, oh, I want to go to college. Oh, I got accepted to college. And as soon as you got to college, you realize, or you find out later that you're already in the time you spent, the college is being defunded and actually erased, actually is already decommissioned. It was slated for demolition, right? But you you had a 4-year scholarship, that you accepted. So you put all your eggs in one basket, except they defunded everything about it because they were shutting it down. They didn't bother to tell the last class that they recruited into this, that was the reality. So your education sucks. Your everything that would have been real is turned on its head, and now you're gonna have problems the rest of your life, right? And they're gonna try to cover their ass and not acknowledge that they have any liability, right? That you have no human rights. Now they're gonna, because you go to the legal system and they have lawyers, right? In my case, you find out the Department of Justice will defend anything. You could go and say, hey, I want to prove that the sun exists. I'm gonna go and sue the government because they're not teaching that the sun exists. Something as silly as that, right? But they actually will defend that the sun doesn't exist, even if you see it right there. Here's the paperwork. Oh no, it doesn't exist. You can't really prove it exists. I mean, they won't. Essentially they can defend anything that doesn't exist, and they can extend out, prolong, say obnoxious things. If you attempt to get with reality, You know, what if I were to say black people don't exist? This is black. No one's black. You know, this is white. No one's white. This isn't even pure white, but you can see pure white somewhere. There's no one's white. My teeth are white, essentially. No one's that color. I'm pink. I'm red. No one's red though. No one, you know, this is insane shit. Same with religion. Same with all these other things. You know, it's just no one wants to just say I'm a human being, individual and unique, like my fingerprint. Everyone wants to try to shoot. Maybe it's just a human paradigm, you know. But yeah, when you come here and there's so many different people from different countries, historically, they come as advocates for their own little tribe, not assimilate, I guess, into the we the people big group, but more interested in their individual group. You know, and you got 10 different little groups that, you know, come here and they try to advocate, or they do advocate for their individual group. Hold on to that, and then, you know, and then essentially, you know, it can create a lot of distraction, right, from the bigger issue, which bigger group being the we the people part, right? Now, if that happened in the military, you know, if you had like 10 little subgroups that just all wanted recognition, the military would really have a problem getting anything done, right? You know, I could go on and on and on and on, you know. All I'm trying to say is, yeah, love equally, right? But I have to be indifferent too. I'm not gonna put this love game, this rainbow parade. Love is gonna save anything. I struggle with the stupidness of just using these really fraudulent terms, or terms that, you know, don't have any backing, right? Having a love parade, but you're all drunk, and then, you know, you're handing out drug needles, and you have pride, but you don't have pride in if people can read or write. You don't have pride in actual skill sets. You know, it's all about, oh, I have pride in my sexuality, but that's been going on 30 or 40 years, and, you know, well, no one can really knows how to build a house or farm, or, you know, or even defend themselves. They can't even defend themselves from a robbery. We're losing skills. We're losing real skills. No, and then your money's worthless because we don't produce anything. You know, to be valuable, for your money to be worth, I mean, you should be able to have skills, produce stuff. People would want your production. What you know, we just buy stuff. I didn't make that education system. I was just born into it. I think people want skills. They want to feel secure, but we didn't make a system like that. Or someone tried to dismantle a system like that, because I think there are countries and there are tribes and there are people out there that want you to be well-rounded, because, you know, and from having real skill sets, the fundamentals, the foundational parts of us, keeping a society healthy. Money is a result of your actual skills, and your wealth that you give, and money alone isn't gonna, you know, you could be rich supposedly but sick and dying, and money's not gonna do nothing for you. So, you know, there's this idea of money is everything and all the other things. It's false. It's false. Love is, you know, empty. People can say they love you and steal everything you have and lie to you. What is love? Love is a word. Same with all these other things. Just using words. I'm more interested in what's behind the word, the actual actions, right? You're judge a man by the fruit of his labor, or fruit that what he produces, not anything else, but actually what he's producing. But anyways, I love you guys. I need some help, man, as far as getting my mind right. As far as I want to go to school again. I'm tired of being on edge. I'm in court. I'm tired of everything. I'm just tired, and I really need my resume in life to be acknowledged that that what happened in the military really changed my life, and I'm tired, but I'm gonna fight. I have to fight. I'll talk to you soon.